Hello and welcome to the Swedes in the Huddle podcast, number one, the first episode ever in the history. So we thought we would kick that off by bringing in Gilbert Kimrin from way down south of Sweden, who is now currently playing high school football over in Taft High School in Connecticut. So what this podcast is about is kind of a little brainstorm, actually, of Ola Kimrin, Gilbert Stad, and myself have been talking about getting some information out to players about players who are over in the States, going to high school, college, whatever levels they're playing, and then kind of hearing their stories. So, Gilbert, you're the first
Yeah,
ever guest. So if this thing kicks off and get big, it's because I had you on. But welcome to the podcast.
thank you.
Let's start off with the basics. How did you get interested in playing American football?
Well, it started when I was probably like 7, turning 8, somewhere around there. Because my dad played, and so football was always like around the house. We always had it on TV and stuff. I didn't understand anything, but it was just like still there. And then I went to my first practice in like 2014, I think,
Yeah.
with the U13, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I wasn't even allowed to play because I was too young. So I was like the water boy for the first like year and a half.
Yeah.
But it was just it was like fun to just be around the team and just like play the sport. And you looked cool with the pads and the helmet on and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's how you got started. What do you remember most about that time of or let me ask you this. Sorry, did you play any other sports besides American football? Because it's not really a culturally ingrained sport in Sweden. Were you doing other sports also?
Yeah, I played soccer,
Hmm.
but I wasn't really good at it. I
Yeah.
mostly played because all my friends were there.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much the only two sports I've actually like played seriously.
Yeah.
But then I flipped to like just football in 5th or 6th grade.
Yeah. So from then on, it's been pretty much American football all the way then.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice. All right. So during this process, you started playing. You're around the team. I kind of remember you a long time ago as a water boy at a national team game before.
Yeah.
You were for a long time ago. But you're playing. When did it for you? It become a goal to leave Sweden and go play in the U.S. How did that come about?
Uh, it was a family trip to the U.S. 7 years ago now,
Yeah.
and we drove by a few schools, and I would just ask Dad every single time if I could play there, and he was like, "Yeah, sure." Like it's gonna take a few years, but you can try. And then I don't know. Since I like saw all those fields, and I was like, "Okay, I think this is what I wanted to do," because it
Yeah.
and in all the high school movies and everything, it looks so much fun.
Yeah, Hollywood can make it look fun for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, what was your process? You went over. You were exposed in the U.S. to some of the to the game and some of the teams, or obviously your dad's background in the game, and so you want to go from Sweden to the U.S. to play. What what was the procedure for you? How did you do that? Did you change how you work? Did you reach out and contact other people, or what'd you do?
Well, it all started in 2019 at the first Northman camp.
Yeah,
There was a coach from Middlesex Academy in Massachusetts, Coach Lang.
yeah,
He's the one that introduced like the whole boarding school, like boarding private school concept. Because
yeah,
everyone here knows, oh, you can take an exchange here, but they're never gonna like start a Swedish guy anyways.
yeah,
So he kind of opened up that door, and then COVID came, so there was no camp the year after. But then 2021, it was Coach Murphy from URI, University of Rhode Island, and Coach Johnston from he was at a high school in New Hampshire.
yeah,
They said, yeah, you have the talent. Now you just if you want to get to the like next level, like if you want to improve your game, like you have to go over to the U.S.
yeah,
because it's pretty much impossible to develop as a quarterback here.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's not very often that a quarterback gets the opportunity to go and play quarterback in the U.S. And I think that's a credit to the work you put in and your talent. But I think I think people should be aware of that. That's probably the absolute most difficult position for a foreigner
Yeah.
to step in and play. Now you talked about your situation there, Taft. It's a boarding school. What does that mean?
It means that you live on campus. It's
Okay.
pretty much like a college.
Yeah.
It's a prep school. It's supposed to like prepare you as good as possible to advance to the college level, like both academically and like athletically, whatever sport you do. But it's so we live on campus. You get breakfast, lunch, dinner. You have your dorm, like your dorm parents, your roommate.
Yeah. So you're kind of getting you're kind of in high school, but you're kind of getting a college experience by being
Yeah,
at a boarding school.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Now let me ask you this, because when everybody always, when they go someplace else, they're always ready to, I want to play. Um, did you play right away when you went?
No, I did not. No,
How what was that like?
it was like I knew I wasn't gonna play. It was kind of part of the plan. I talked to Coach Whitley, and he said, "Oh, we have this guy. He's gonna be 4 year starter,
Yeah,
senior quarterback. So it's his year."
yeah,
And he said, "But I think it's gonna be a great year for you to like be behind him and get into the offense and like get to know the coaches and the program and everything." So I knew I wasn't gonna start my first year, it was a great year of like learning.
yeah,
I did start at punter though.
yeah.
We didn't have a punter, so I mean it wasn't really like you just kicked the ball pretty much.
Yeah. Don't say that to your dad that you just kicked the ball. So,
Yeah.
but like Kimrin, and they need a punter, they're going to put you in, buddy. I guarantee
Yep.
you. Awesome. Well, let me ask you this about the difference in playing here in Sweden at the club level and going to high school in the States. You talked about, academics. What role is school play with, or how do you juggle the school and the preparation for football and those things?
Uh, so my school for underclassmen, which is freshmen and sophomores, the schedule's pretty set, like year round. You have your afternoon like so school starts at 8:15, ends at 2:40.
Mm,
And your practice usually starts at 3:40, like whatever sport it is.
yeah.
And then that lasts usually for like 2 hours. And then as underclassmen, you have mandatory study hall from 8 to
Okay.
10.
Yeah.
It's either you have to be in your room, like with the door like clogged open so the teachers can like hear stuff,
Yeah.
or you go to the library and you have to
Yeah.
sit there for like 2 hours, and the Wi-Fi shuts off all your like social media, so there's like you
Oh,
might as well
wow.
just do your work because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you have to maintain a certain grade point average to be able to
Yeah,
play. Is that correct?
yeah,
Yeah. So that's kind of that would be the same as in college.
yeah.
Now, one of the things that I know that is usually different between playing club football in Sweden and playing in the States, you talked about your schedule's pretty much made for you with not only, now do you have academics, you have to maintain a certain level of academics in order to play. You talked about this schedule. You practice a whole lot more in the States than
Yeah,
in Sweden.
yeah. It's every day.
Yeah.
We have practice Monday through Friday,
Hmm.
and then we have our games on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Usually, we're gonna have two Friday night games this year, but usually they're on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So you really only get Sunday off,
Yeah.
and we also have school Monday through Saturday as well.
Oh, okay. You have school. Okay.
We have Monday, Tuesday, and then half Wednesday,
All right.
and then Thursday, Friday, half Saturday. And
Okay. That's
it's
interesting.
to make because all the other sports like except football have like 2 games a week,
Yeah.
and all the schools in like the whole conference have the same thing. So they
Okay.
decided to split up the Wednesday to have
Oh,
that
okay.
as game day as well.
All right. All right. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Are there some other European players or Swedish players with you at Taft?
This fall there will be Arvid
Yeah.
from Gothenburg.
Yeah.
I haven't played a Swedish guy, but I played a Finnish guy,
Oh, okay.
Olaus
Yeah.
Alinen. He's at Alabama.
Yeah. Yeah.
I played him freshman year.
Yeah.
He was a ginormous human being.
Yeah. Some of those guys can be that way. That's for sure.
And
That's for
then
sure. Just don't make them angry.
I've played a few German kids,
Yeah. Yeah.
but Scandinavia, no, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting Arvid now.
Yeah. That's good. That'll be good for him to
There
be
was
there.
a kid. We play like our schools are in the same league, but we didn't play each other.
Yeah.
Sixten Muttivala from Stockholm.
Oh, okay.
He played
Okay.
at Salisbury,
Okay.
another school, and then
Yeah.
I think he went to Dickinson.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Let me ask you this. Is there one of the things that I've always thought was unique that you mentioned about that I remember from the many moons ago when I was in the States playing is that you're done with practice. You said probably around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, ish. Yeah,
Yeah. So then you have your study hall, different things like that you go to. Whereas if you here in Sweden, you're probably not going to practice until
6.
6 o'clock or 7 or 8,
Yeah,
even for the older guys. So that must be a little bit nice to be able to have that over
yeah,
with instead of waiting for the late evening.
yeah.
Awesome.
'Cause then
Well, let me
you
ask you this.
get the night to like do all your stuff, and you can hang out with friends too before study hall and after study hall. You just have
Yeah,
to get your work done.
yeah. But there's no you can't ever say no, coach. I didn't have time to get that assignment done.
No.
Perfect. Well, let me ask you this now. How would you? I got a couple more questions. First, like how would you describe your experience so far overall in what you've been through, going over there, moving away from home, living in another school in another country, starting as a backup, working on, being the starting punter. I mean, how has everything been for you?
I mean, it's just a huge learning experience. Like you just get to grow up a little faster, I think.
Yeah.
Like I moved when I was still 15. I didn't turn 16 yet.
Yeah.
Um, like it's just you have to learn a lot. Like you learn a lot about yourself, what you're able to do when you're like when you spend so much time like just with yourself.
Yeah.
Because you living in different time zones and stuff like that. It was in the start it wasn't that hard because I had football season.
Right.
But as soon as football was over, I didn't really have anything to look forward to, so I would just like think about like why am I here and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I would see all my friends at home like on social media still like living their normal life,
Yeah.
and there I was 8 hours away.
Yeah. And your new normal is quite different than what their
Yeah,
normal is at the time. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but I got used to it, and I still have very like good connections with the people back home.
Yeah.
And now when I'm home, I still talk to the guys in the U.S. as well.
Yeah. That's
It's like
good.
you kind of get to live two lives at once.
Yeah. The world is kind of a big yet small place.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
yeah. No,
Let me ask you
I
this.
think it only benefits me. I don't think there's any real downsides of this. I think I just learn a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you get a key point there where it is kind of forces you to grow up a little faster, but you really learn a lot about yourself
Yeah,
in a positive way. You're also I don't know how much you can talk about this actually because I don't want to do anything wrong here, but you're also in the middle now, the process of the next step is going from high school to college,
yeah,
and you're getting college coaches. I follow up with. I put on the Swedes playing football in the USA Facebook page. I'll put whatever social
yeah.
media posts I can see. But what is that like? Getting the interest from college coaches at all different levels.
It's a lot of fun. It's like the first. I remember the first time I met. One of the first times my coach like texted me to come see a college coach. I walk in and there's the Penn State head coach standing, and I just like my jaw just dropped. I had no idea. Like I've only seen this guy on TV. Like I don't think
Yeah,
I never thought I was gonna see this guy in real life.
yeah,
But it's surreal. It's a lot of fun. You get to learn how to speak in like serious situations and talk about
yeah,
different things.
yeah,
And it's always like you have to be as nice as possible to all of them
yeah.
because you never know where that coach is going to be in a few years.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Like everything you hear, if you look at the coaches' Twitters, it's like they've been this place, this place, this place, and then
Yeah.
they're going to this school next year.
Yeah.
So you just never know. So you just gotta get all the connections you can get.
Yeah. And then you've also gone around in this process and will continue to do so to some summer camps. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've only went to the ones in the Northeast these
Uh-huh.
2 years. I went to Yukon, UMass, BC, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Kind of like the local ones because I am there alone and I don't have a driving license. So
Right.
I had to depend on other kids and their families, which I'm really grateful for.
Yeah.
But next year, my parents are going to come over,
Yeah.
so we're going to drive around a little longer. I'll probably
Yeah.
stay for like 2.5, 3 weeks maybe.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. All right. Well, last question. So you have an outstanding story. It's obviously not finished yet. Yeah, you're going to do many more bigger things, and this will be fun to follow as you work up into the college level eventually. But what advice or tips would you give some of the younger players in Sweden that have the goal of going over to the States, be it high school or college? What tips would you give them that they needed to maybe think about?
Just stay consistent in like perfecting your craft, kind of. Like do what you're good at and try to be as good as possible. Like perfect your skill set. Like if you're a lineman, do those extra steps after practice. If you're a quarterback, stay a little longer with your receivers. Like just do that little extra thing because that's all those like small things are gonna end up being like one really big thing.
Yeah.
And just reach out to people that have knowledge about this to like get guidance. Like you can reach out to any of the head coaches in your teams, and they can reach out to like everyone has contacts somewhere in the U.S.
Yeah.
Like just try to get your name out there, post on Twitter, post your workouts, post your huddle, send emails. That's how I went over. I got a list of 20 schools and I sent an email to all of them. Like 10 responded and 5 were actually interested, and then
Yeah.
I still ended up going. So just pursue what you want, and it's if it's meant to be, it's gonna happen for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that sounds, I think that's great advice. I think something that you mentioned there that is worth repeating is that you put yourself out there, that
Yeah.
you posted your workouts. Some people, some people could view, oh, well, I don't want to really brag or whatever, but it's not really bragging. It's marketing yourself. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
And if you want people to notice you, you got to go, you got to be where people are looking. And the internet has opened up recruiting. And this, people like yourself and other European players that are going over to the States and playing have opened up the eyes to the coaches. I know many, many years ago when I was coaching college football, I remember getting a VHS tape. You probably don't even know what that is. Sent to me in the mail from some guy in Germany. And I was like, I'll look at this. And it was him doing his drills. It was him doing all these things and talking English to show that he could talk English. And it was pretty interesting. But nowadays it's so
It's so
easy
easy. It's
to
so easy.
be able to get recognized.
Like my dad said the same thing. Like he sent letters, but like now you can just go on Twitter and reach out to 100 coaches in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, Gilbert, I appreciate you being
Thanks for
guest
having
number
me.
one.
Thanks for having me. It's been
No,
an
no,
honor.
no matter how many of these we ever do, you're always the first.
Yep.
And we'll be sure and wish you the absolute best of luck
Thank you.
for the rest of the season coming up in the future. We'll let everybody else out there know if you know of somebody that you would like to see on this podcast, or you can reach out to Swedes in the Huddle at gmail.com. Just send me an email there with who it is, or if you're a player yourself who would like to be on the podcast, we'll set it up. But awesome. Thank you,
Yeah, thank
Gilbert,
you.
and wish you the best of luck.